Ever wondered what it takes to be brave enough to step into a boxing ring where every punch could be your last, while also being courageous enough to live your authentic truth in one of sport's most traditionally masculine environments? That moment, when you realize that some of the toughest fighters in history weren't just battling opponents, they were fighting against an entire culture that told them they couldn't be both powerful and proudly gay? Welcome to the most inspiring combat sports stories ever told, where authentic courage meets literal fighting spirit in ways that changed boxing forever. Welcome back to Rainbow Spotlight. Today we're celebrating the top 5 LGBT male fighters who didn't just punch their way to victory. They punched through barriers of homophobia, stereotypes, and systemic discrimination while proving that authentic masculinity comes in many forms, including rainbow-colored boxing shorts and the courage to be completely yourself while throwing devastating combinations. These aren't just athletes, they're warriors who fought battles both inside and outside the ring. From Olympic champions who changed international competition forever to professional fighters who risked everything for authenticity, these brave hearts represent the beautiful intersection of athletic excellence and personal courage. Each story proves that the strongest fighters are often those who refuse to hide essential parts of themselves, even when facing potential career destruction, physical danger, or social isolation. Combat courage, confession. Which fighter's story of athletic excellence combined with personal bravery inspires you most? Drop their name below. Let's honor these legends who prove that authenticity and championship-level fighting can coexist beautifully. Orlando Cruz, the Puerto Rican pioneer who made history in rainbow shorts. When Orlando Cruz stepped into the ring wearing rainbow-striped shorts after publicly coming out in 2012, he didn't just make a fashion statement. He became the first active professional boxer in history to compete openly as a gay man, transforming what seemed impossible into inevitable while inspiring LGBTQ+ athletes worldwide to consider that they could achieve athletic excellence without sacrificing authentic identity. His journey from 2000 Olympic representative to WBO featherweight contender while living openly gay proved that boxing's macho culture could evolve when confronted with undeniable talent and unshakable courage. What makes Orlando absolutely revolutionary isn't just his historic coming-out moment, though becoming the first openly gay active professional boxer required unprecedented courage in a sport where masculinity had been narrowly defined for over a century. It's his complete integration of pride advocacy with championship-level boxing, wearing rainbow colors to honor Pulse nightclub victims while delivering knockout performances that silenced critics who suggested authenticity would compromise athletic performance. His professional record of 25 wins, 8 losses, and 1 draw includes victories achieved after coming out, proving that authenticity enhanced rather than hindered his fighting ability. His dedication to becoming boxing's first openly gay world champion created global headlines while inspiring young LGBTQ+ athletes who finally saw someone achieving elite athletic success without hiding essential parts of their identity. The cultural impact extended far beyond boxing into broader conversations about masculinity, courage, and representation in professional sports. Orlando's visibility provided a crucial example for Latino LGBTQ+ youth who might otherwise feel forced to choose between cultural acceptance and authentic self-expression, demonstrating that pride and athletic excellence could coexist beautifully. His approach to handling homophobic responses, including trainer Peter Fury's deleted tweets, demonstrated remarkable grace under pressure while maintaining focus on boxing excellence rather than engaging with discrimination. His philosophy of "we fall, we get up stronger" became inspirational motto for LGBTQ+ athletes facing similar challenges worldwide. The business aspects of his career, including sponsorship deals and media attention, proved that openly gay athletes could achieve commercial success when their authentic story resonated with audiences seeking genuine representation rather than manufactured personas designed for mass appeal. His induction into the National Gay and Lesbian Sports Hall of Fame in 2013 recognized not just athletic achievement but cultural impact that extended far beyond individual success into systemic change that benefits future generations of LGBTQ+ athletes seeking to compete authentically. For contemporary discussions about sports inclusion and authentic representation, Orlando represents proof that individual courage can create institutional change when combined with undeniable talent and consistent commitment to excellence both inside and outside competitive environments. Pioneer impact. Has Orlando Cruz's courage changed your understanding of what's possible for LGBTQ+ athletes in traditional masculine sports? Comment changed for shifted perspective completely, inspired for motivated by his authentic courage. Emil Griffith, the three-time world champion who lived complex truth. When Emil Griffith dominated boxing in the 1960s while maintaining fluid approach to sexuality that defied simple categorization, he created one of sports history's most complex narratives about identity, violence, and the courage required to live authentically in environments that demanded conformity. His achievements, world titles in 3 different weight divisions, came during an era when any deviation from heterosexual masculinity could destroy careers. Yet he consistently referenced attraction to both men and women while building a Hall of Fame boxing legacy that influenced generations of fighters. What makes Emil absolutely fascinating isn't just his remarkable boxing ability, though winning world championships at welterweight, junior middleweight, and middleweight demonstrates versatility and skill that few fighters achieve across their entire careers. It's his complex navigation of identity during an era when LGBTQ+ visibility was not just discouraged but potentially dangerous, particularly for black athletes competing in hyper-masculine sports environments where any perceived weakness could be exploited. The tragic incident with Benny Parrott, who used homophobic slurs during their weigh-in before their fatal 1962 fight, became one of boxing's most haunting moments. Parrott's death following Griffith's devastating response created lifelong trauma that Griffith carried while continuing to compete at championship level, demonstrating resilience that extended far beyond typical athletic recovery from setbacks or controversial moments. His personal life remained deliberately private throughout his career, with only gradual revelations about his sexuality emerging in later interviews when social attitudes had evolved enough to allow more open discussion. His 1992 admission about bisexuality came decades after retirement, reflecting the intense pressure LGBTQ+ athletes faced during his competitive era. The documentary Ring of Fire explored his complex identity while honoring both his athletic achievements and personal struggles, creating a nuanced portrait of someone who navigated identity in ways that don't fit simple contemporary categories. His story demonstrates how LGBTQ+ experiences have evolved while honoring the courage required by previous generations who lacked current support systems. His influence on boxing technique and training methods continued long after retirement, with his fighting style studied by contemporary boxers who admire his combination of power, speed, and ring intelligence. His athletic legacy remains separate from but enhanced by understanding the additional challenges he faced as someone whose identity didn't conform to narrow expectations. The boxing community's gradual acceptance and celebration of his complete legacy reflects broader cultural evolution toward understanding that athletic excellence and diverse identity can coexist beautifully when athletes receive appropriate support and recognition for their full humanity rather than just their competitive achievements. Complex legacy. Does Emil Griffith's story change how you understand the challenges faced by LGBTQ+ athletes in previous generations? Vote understanding for increased historical awareness, respect for greater appreciation for his courage given the era. Alfonso Panama Brown, the forgotten pioneer of 1929. When Alfonso Panama Brown became the world bantamweight champion in 1929 while living openly as a gay man, he didn't just make boxing history, he became one of the first openly LGBTQ+ world champions in any professional sport, while proving that authentic identity and athletic excellence could coexist even during an era when such visibility was virtually impossible for most people. His record of 132 wins, 20 losses, 13 draws, and 59 knockouts represented championship-level ability that earned respect despite social attitudes that made his openness about sexuality remarkable for its time. What makes Alfonso absolutely groundbreaking isn't just his championship achievement. Though becoming the first Latino world boxing champion while living openly gay required unprecedented courage during an era when both racial and sexual minorities faced extreme discrimination in professional sports. It's his complete refusal to hide essential parts of his identity despite facing homelessness, financial instability, and career limitations that would have been avoided through conformity to social expectations. His boxing career spanned multiple weight classes and included victories over top contenders of his era, proving that his championship reign resulted from legitimate athletic ability rather than promotional gimmicks or favorable matchmaking. His technical skills and knockout power earned recognition from boxing historians who study his fights as examples of effective bantamweight technique and strategy. The challenges he faced extended beyond typical athletic obstacles into systematic discrimination that limited earning potential, promotional opportunities, and post-career stability that other champions of his era enjoyed. His struggles with homelessness between fights reflected broader social realities for LGBTQ+ individuals during the 1920s and 1930s, when legal and social protections were non-existent. His eventual migration to Paris, where he found greater acceptance and continued his boxing career, demonstrates the international nature of discrimination, while highlighting European cities that provided more welcoming environments for LGBTQ+ individuals during this historical period. His relationship with French writer Jean Cocteau provided personal happiness while creating cultural connections between boxing and artistic communities. The erasure of his story from mainstream boxing history reflects broader patterns of LGBTQ+ historical invisibility that contemporary researchers work to address through archival research and documentation efforts. His rediscovery provides crucial representation for Latino and LGBTQ+ boxing fans seeking historical figures who reflect their own experiences and identities. His influence on subsequent generations of LGBTQ+ athletes remains largely unmeasured due to historical invisibility, but his example provides evidence that authentic living and athletic excellence have coexisted throughout sports history, even when social documentation was limited or deliberately suppressed. Historical pioneer, does Alfonso Brown's forgotten story change your understanding of LGBTQ+ sports history? Comment, amazed for surprised by early LGBTQ+ athletic achievement, educational for learned important historical information. Jerry Odum, the contemporary champion building community. When Jerry Odum began competing in the World Gay Boxing Championships while building inclusive boxing programs in Chicago, he didn't just pursue individual athletic achievement. He created systematic change that proves contemporary LGBTQ+ athletes can build careers around both competitive excellence and community development while inspiring next generations of queer fighters seeking supportive training environments. His work with Strong Hands Gym, Chicago's first LGBTQ+ boxing facility, demonstrates how individual athletic passion can become community resource that serves broader social justice goals. What makes Jerry absolutely inspiring isn't just his competitive boxing ability, though his technical skill and dedication to training demonstrate the kind of athletic commitment that earns respect in traditional boxing environments while building credibility for LGBTQ+ athletes seeking recognition based on merit rather than identity politics. It's his complete integration of athletic excellence with community building that creates lasting impact beyond individual career achievements. His participation in the World Gay Boxing Championships showcases international LGBTQ+ boxing community that provides competitive opportunities while building networks of support for athletes who might otherwise train in isolation. These competitions create space for athletic achievement while celebrating diversity rather than requiring athletes to choose between competitive success and authentic identity expression. The Strong Hands Gym environment he helped develop provides crucial resource for LGBTQ+ individuals seeking fitness, self-defense, and competitive boxing opportunities in welcoming environment that honors both athletic development and community safety. The facility serves youth and adults who might otherwise avoid traditional boxing gyms due to concerns about acceptance or discrimination. His approach to training emphasizes both technical boxing development and personal empowerment, creating programs that serve competitive athletes while also providing fitness and self-defense opportunities for community members seeking physical and emotional strength through boxing training that honors their complete identity rather than requiring them to hide essential parts of themselves. The business model of inclusive boxing facilities demonstrates commercial viability of LGBTQ plus athletic programs while providing template for similar enterprises in other cities seeking to serve underrepresented athletic communities. His work proves that niche athletic programs can achieve financial sustainability while serving social justice goals. His influence extends beyond individual athletic achievement into systemic change that creates opportunities for future generations of LGBTQ plus boxers seeking supportive training environments where they can develop athletic skills while building community connections with other athletes who share similar experiences and values. The international recognition of his community-building work through the World Gay Boxing Championships provides model for other cities seeking to develop inclusive athletic programs that serve both competitive and recreational needs while building broader understanding of LGBTQ plus athletic participation and achievement. Community building. Does Jerry Odum's approach to combining athletics with community development inspire your understanding of sports as social change? Vote inspired for motivated by community-focused athletics, interested for curious about inclusive sports programs. Jason Collins' boxing crossover, the NBA star who found fighting spirit. When former NBA center Jason Collins began training seriously in boxing after his historic 2013 coming out as the first active openly gay player in major American professional sports, he didn't just pursue cross-training. He discovered that combat sports provided therapeutic outlet for processing the intense pressure of pioneering LGBTQ plus representation while building physical and mental strength that enhanced his advocacy work. His boxing training, while never reaching professional level, demonstrated how combat sports can serve LGBTQ plus athletes seeking empowerment through physical challenge and skill development. What makes Jason's boxing journey absolutely compelling isn't just his celebrity status. Though his transition from NBA prominence to boxing training provided visibility for LGBTQ plus participation in combat sports, while demonstrating that coming out could enhance rather than limit athletic exploration and personal development. It's his complete embrace of boxing's mental and physical challenges as tools for personal growth and community inspiration rather than just fitness maintenance or publicity opportunities. His training regimen at various boxing gyms provided authentic athletic challenge while creating opportunities for LGBTQ plus visibility in traditionally masculine spaces where his presence normalized diverse participation in combat sports. His workout videos and social media documentation inspired other LGBTQ plus individuals to explore boxing and martial arts training that might previously have seemed inaccessible or unwelcoming. The psychological benefits he reported from boxing training, including stress relief, confidence building, and emotional processing, provided public testimony about combat sports' therapeutic potential for LGBTQ plus individuals dealing with discrimination, career pressure, or personal challenges related to authentic living in complicated social environments. His approach to boxing training emphasized personal development over competitive achievement, creating model for LGBTQ plus athletic participation that prioritizes individual growth and community inspiration rather than requiring championship-level performance or professional career development as measures of success or value. The media attention surrounding his boxing training generated positive coverage of LGBTQ plus athletic participation, while demonstrating that combat sports could welcome diverse participants when approached with respect for individual goals and authentic athletic development rather than stereotypical expectations about who belongs in boxing gyms. His advocacy work benefited from the confidence, discipline, and mental toughness developed through boxing training, creating feedback loop where athletic challenge enhanced his ability to handle public pressure and social justice work, while boxing provided outlet for processing the emotional demands of pioneering representation in professional sports. The influence of his boxing journey on other LGBTQ plus athletes demonstrated that cross-training in combat sports could provide valuable physical and mental development opportunities while building community connections with diverse athletic populations that might otherwise remain separate from LGBTQ plus sports participation. Crossover inspiration. Has Jason Collins' boxing journey changed your understanding of how combat sports can serve LGBTQ plus athletic development? Comment changed for shifted perspective on boxing accessibility. Motivated for inspired to try combat sports training. From Orlando Cruz's Rainbow Shortset Championship quest to Emil Griffith's complex navigation of identity and athletic excellence. From Alfonso Brown's forgotten pioneering courage to Jerry Odum's community-building vision, and Jason Collins' therapeutic boxing discovery, these 5 brave hearts prove that the strongest fighters are often those who refuse to separate their authentic identity from their athletic excellence, creating legacies that transcend individual achievement to inspire systemic change. Time to honor these combat legends. First, which fighter's story of courage, both inside and outside the ring, resonates most deeply with your understanding of authentic bravery? Drop your number 1 through 5. We need to know whose combination of athletic skill and personal courage has inspired your own approach to facing challenges with authenticity and determination. Second, share your combat sports inspiration. Have any of these stories motivated you to explore boxing, martial arts, or other combat sports as tools for building confidence, processing emotions, or developing physical and mental strength? Your experiences might encourage others who are considering whether combat sports could provide valuable personal development opportunities. Third, subscribe to Rainbow Spotlight for more celebrations of athletes who prove that authentic living and competitive excellence create the most inspiring sports stories. We're building a community where athletic achievement meets genuine human courage, and every great fighter reminds us why representation in sports matters for both individual inspiration and cultural progress. These discussions remind us that whether fighters compete at Olympic, professional, or community levels, the most meaningful athletic stories often emerge when people refuse to compromise their authentic identity for competitive opportunities while using their platform to create positive change for future generations of athletes seeking similar paths. Don't forget, supporting LGBTQ+ athletes, celebrating authentic courage in sports, and staying curious about how athletics can serve both individual development and community building really are what create the most meaningful and lasting impact in sports culture and beyond. Thanks for joining us on Rainbow Spotlight, where combat courage meets authentic living, and every brave fighter reminds us that the strongest people are often those who choose authenticity over acceptance, while never compromising their commitment to excellence.